Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be sex crazed, interested, and in love. I've got an email here from a guy who's been dating this woman for about 2 years, and he admits in the beginning, before he found my work, he was a little too needy and a little too clingy. But he says he's been following my work for about 1.5 years, read my book numerous times, and he says he's doing everything that the book teaches, but obviously as we're about to go through his email, you can see there are things that are doing wrong, and his girlfriend is starting to question if he really cares about her or if he's only just interested in sex. And he's perplexed because he thinks he's doing everything right, but again, as we go through this email, you're going to see where he's going sideways a little bit. So I have a quote that I wrote on this topic, and then we're going to go through his email and help him fine-tune and tweak his approach. Because if I was a betting man, I'd say from what he's shared, he's not following the fundamentals because he probably doesn't know him that well, even though he's convinced himself otherwise. So the quote says, when you care about another human being, you ask questions and are sincerely interested in what they have to say. Love is about giving. If you are experiencing pain in a relationship, it is often because you are focusing on yourself, i.e. the 10 disciplines of love from the back of my book, for those of you who've read it. And if you're watching this and you haven't read it, go to my website right now, subscribe to the email newsletter, and you'll get a link to where you can read it in the members area. You can also get the Audible version for free by subscribing to Audible. Do it now. And by the way, the name of the book is How to Be a 3% Man, for those of you that are new. Love is about giving, helping each other grow, become more, and meeting each other's needs as teammates. Loving yourself means that you set healthy boundaries and call the other person out in a loving way when they are violating them. Normal, mentally healthy people who truly care will respect your boundaries and treat you right. Lunatics and toxic people will make you feel like there is something wrong with you. Agree with them and delete them from your life since you are too good for them. Definitely something to think about. A lot of Fruit Loops in this world, and the reality is, if you're going to date, eventually there's a really good chance that you're going to encounter one of them. So you need to know what to look for, because otherwise you're going to have scratching your head thinking, I'm fucking crazy, there must be something wrong with me. Because that's what the lunatics and the whack jobs do. They make you think that you're the problem. And if you keep attracting the same kind of people, then you start to believe that. And again, we're going to act consistently with how we view ourselves to be. So the idea is to have a good, normal, rational, honest view of ourselves. So we know to recognize when we're fucking up or when we're just involved with a lunatic, and no matter what you do, it's not going to work. So let's go through his email. He says, hey, Corey, I've been following you for over 1.5 years, and I've read your book numerous times. Well, what about 10 to 15 times? If I was a betting man, I'd say you're probably exaggerating a little bit. And how would I know that? Well, I've already read this email, and I know how it turns out. And I have to say that you are a master of the beginning stages of dating. Well, my book is about pickup skills, dating skills, and relationship skills. And if you think that I'm all about the beginning stages of dating, well, then you don't understand my work very well, and you don't know what I teach. That's your perception. It tells me that you took things in the dating side of things, you focused on that because that's where you were struggling, dating and hooking up, and that's all you focused on. And once you started getting laid 5 or 6 times a day, you figured you didn't need the rest of this shit. Everything from neediness, clinginess, coming on too strong, having an abundance mentality, averting from the one-itis has truly changed my life. I'm 33 and I have found a woman I love, and I have to ask you this. How to keep the woman you love interested, sex-crazed, and chasing you? Well, you don't know the book, dude. You may think you do, but you're bullshitting yourself, and I'm here to tell you. I'm not going to blow sunshine up your ass. You don't know the fundamentals. I can tell you focused on getting laid and hooking up in the early dating stages, and the rest of it, you just dismissed it outright. Now, because you're a year and a half down the road, you're the expert, and there's got to be something missing. Well, there's a chapter in my book. It says the courtship never ends. What you do to get a woman to fall in love with you is what you're going to always do to keep her in love with you. Because women know that if you care, if you love them, you're always going to take the time to plan out dates, to plan fun things where the two of you can go enjoy adventures together. You are supposed to be the leader, after all, and women like a guy who takes the lead in a relationship. If you stop dating and courting your woman, a woman looks at your actions. Most normal women understand that instinctively. If you really care, if you really love her, you love me, you'd keep dating over and over, and you would show her through your actions that you care. The one time initiating contact a week isn't working anymore after almost 2 years. Well, that tells me that you're focused on techniques and manipulating your girlfriend instead of understanding the fundamental principles of how a man is supposed to act. If you're just focused on using my book and cherry picking things to use some techniques, you're going to get some results, but it's not going to be consistent. It's not about manipulating the other person. It's about acting like a man is supposed to act. And if you have a normal, healthy woman and not a Fruit Loop, she will respond accordingly, and she will love you for it. But instead, this whole thing is about manipulation and being lazy because you didn't take the time to learn the fundamentals. You just showed up cherry picking some info, probably watched a few videos, maybe flipped through the book once or twice, and now you consider yourself an expert. Repetition's the mother of skill. You got to learn this information 10 to 15 times if you're a serious student. Guys that struggle, don't read the book 10 to 15 times. Guys that send great success stories, read the book 10 to 15 times. I've read hundreds of them in my videos over the years, but people still don't want to listen to me. All I can do is suggest. It's up to you to do the work. That's what self-reliance is. The idea is the true measure of a leader is not how many followers they have, but how many leaders they create. I'm not interested so much in followers as I am people becoming leaders in their own communities, because by you becoming a leader, then you can help and influence the people around you to be better. And if you're better and you help everybody around you and society be better, then guess what? Society as a whole gets better. It becomes a happier, more healthy, more peaceful, more loving, more abundant world. The world is in serious need of that right now. She's asking me now, do you even love me, or are you just interested in sex? So what that tells me is the way you're showing up in your relationship, you're focused on getting laid and getting your dick wet and not much anything else. That's the perception you're giving your girlfriend. This is not me pulling something out of my butt. I'm going off of the words that your girlfriend is saying to you. He says, I have to admit, we live in different cities about 40 minutes away and see each other every weekend, sometimes a couple of times a week. She usually comes to me 90% of the time. So far, so good. When she does come over, I find myself trying to get her in the bedroom immediately, grabbing her tits and becoming a horny dog. Well, there's the rub. That's your problem right there, dude. You're focused on getting your noodle wet. Now, there's nothing wrong if you're dating and courting your girlfriend properly and you just want to get a quickie. But when everything is like a quickie and she shows up after not seeing you for 3 or 4 days and you just start grabbing her boobs like a horny virgin teenager doesn't know any better, it's like you are reverting back to your old ways. And because you're focused on yourself, because what's the formula? What's the 3 H's? Hang out means make a date. The middle one is have fun. That means have fun while you're hanging out. Make her laugh. Be sincerely interested in who she is. Ask her questions, see what she's been up to, what her hopes, what her dreams are, what she's been feeling, what she's been thinking, what's going on in her life, all those things that show you care. And then the hookup part is at the end. You've like reversed it. You've reversed it to hook up, hang out, and have fun. You're not following the fundamentals, dude. It's as predictable as the sun coming up in the east and setting in the west. You can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. And it has nothing to do with being long distance, even though that's what you're trying to say. And as far as the calling her once a week, the only time you do that is when the woman has asked you to make an effort, or she says, how come I always call you? It'd be nice to hear from you. In that case, I've done videos in the past on this, is that call her once a week, or text her once a week, or send her a WhatsApp message once a week, or a Facebook message, or send her a card, or send her an email, or leave a note under a visor. The idea is once a week, contact her in a different way just to show that you care. That's the real reason a woman asks you to make the effort, is to show you care. Don't just be like a robot and send her a text once a week. Hey, I was thinking about you. And then the next week comes along, hey, I was thinking about you, and send the same shit. I mean, come on, be original. So she's worth your time to sit there and think of a new way to make her feel special and like you care. The idea is to be mysterious and unpredictable. I wonder how he's going to do it next. I wonder where boom, oh look, there's my purse. There's a random little note and card in there. I didn't even see him put it in there. That's being mysterious. So he says, I religiously follow your one initiating contact a week, telling her I love her so much, I miss you, making it playful and fun. In other words, you're being like a robot. You grabbed one technique and you've just been working that one technique to death for the past year, year and a half, and probably haven't done anything else other than the same thing over and over. So then it becomes boring and predictable, and it's a routine. Remember, scarcity creates value. When you do the same thing over and over and over and over again, and you tell her that it's like you say I love you 1,000 times a day, after like the 50th time, it really doesn't mean anything. It's like saying, hey, the sky's blue. Oh, wow, big deal. Everybody knows that. Saying you need to get your sexy ass over here so I can kiss those beautiful lips, etc., etc. And she does contact me every day with text or a call. Well, that's a good sign. It shows that she still cares. But you're entering the danger zone because she's saying, I mean, the bottom line, she comes over and you start grabbing her boobs. It's like, come on, man. Go back and read the book again. You need to start over. Hit the reset button. When she does come over, I want her in the bedroom immediately. It tells me you're impatient, needy, clingy, you need validation through sex. A man who's in control of himself and his emotions knows that love is about giving. And he wants to show her a good time because that's important to her. In order for her to feel like you care, it means you'll make a date. It means you'll go out and do something fun. And the sex will come later. That's why I use the James Bond analogy, is because he's not worried about sex. Do you ever see James Bond in a movie go up and start grabbing a woman's boobs and her ass? Nope. It's always at the end of the evening. It's not the beginning of the evening, it's the end of the evening. Lots of foreplay, lots of sexual tension. You're not doing anything. You're just like, oh, well, there's a cake in the oven. Just open the door. Is it done yet? I'm ready to eat now, bitch. In the beginning, we would have sex 5 to 8 times a day. It was amazing. You were probably courting and dating her properly. And then after a while, you fell into the same boring, dull routine of her coming over and you fucking her. I know this from experience because I had a girlfriend one time. Everything was great. She was happy. She was in love. I wrote about this in my book. I think it was about 6 months in. Maybe it was 8 months in. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. But she came over, and I remember this like it was yesterday. She was standing in my kitchen, and she said something to the effect of, I could tell you don't look at me the same way that you used to. You're not as in love with me as you used to be. She could tell I wasn't present with her anymore. And we had just finished having sex, and I remember I was fucking her doggy style, and as I was just doing my thing, looking around the room, whatever was going on, I was thinking, I thought to myself, I don't feel it anymore. I don't feel the same way towards her that I once did. And she could feel it. Women are very intuitive, dude. They're like psychic like that. They can sense when a man is not present, when he's not there, when his mind and his heart is somewhere else. So you may think you're bullshitting her with your words, but she knows. She can feel it. Women aren't stupid, even though some of you guys seem to think that they are. I have all these things, but I still feel her not committing 100%. Well, it's because you're not taking the time to date and court her properly. The courtship never ends. Never means never. It means it's always ongoing. And if you don't feel the urge to continue to court her, well, then maybe that should tell you something about how much you really care about this person. Have I made mistakes in the past? Yes. I did come on too strong in the beginning, clingy, needy, questioning everything she did because I've been hurt in the past, which was you projecting your issues onto her. Had nothing to do with how she was. And so has she, and that's what she brought up, and that's what brought me to your work. We've broken up a few times over the last 2 years and got back together because of things she's done and I've said. I find myself sometimes asking her, where is this going? Well, that tells me you're acting like a woman. A masculine man is sure of himself. He's not, where is this going? So sometimes you're assuming the woman's role, and she's going, what happened to the dude that I fell for? What happened to the guy that I wanted to fuck 5 or 6 times a day? We've been together almost 2 years. I want to live together, start a life, have kids, etc. Well, if you don't get back to dating and courting her properly, you're going to be single very soon, dude. So you need to get your fucking shit together. And quit fucking bullshitting yourself. You can try to bullshit me, but I'll see right through it, dude. All I got to do is look at what she's doing and saying, and I can tell everything. It's easy. Anybody else that knows the book, you'll probably see it in the comments going, yep, it's pretty obvious. Is this just a matter of time and patience? No, it's just a matter of the fundamentals which you dismissed as being beneath you, and you didn't need to spend the time because you were going to be different than all those other Corey Wayne students, if you will. Or should I press the issue at this point where we need to shit or get off the pot? Fundamentals, dude. Again, you're focused on locking her down on commitment. It's like, again, after a year and a half, 2 years of dating this woman, you used my book in the beginning and you got good results, and then you threw it out the fucking window once you were getting laid, once she was in love with you, and you felt like you didn't need any more of it. And so the only person that you really have to blame for this is the dude that you see in the mirror every day, because you didn't listen to me. You didn't follow the instructions to read it 10 to 15 times and apply it. You applied it for a little bit, you went, psh, I got this shit, fuck that shaved-headed prick, he don't know nothing. I don't need him. So if you would like to get my help personally, you can go to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book a coaching session with yours truly so I can help you personally. And I will talk to you soon.